Hello everyone, my name is Gianluigi and welcome back to another podcast here with Earth Key English. Today we have a very special guest of mine. He's a very good friend of mine from Vietnam. His name is Lam and he speaks English absolutely fluently. Also with a twinge of a few accents here and there.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, so everyone put your hands together for my dear friend Lam. Thank you, welcome Lam.
Awesome, Squeech.
Yeah.
Good to be on your podcast
Cheers,
today.
man, good to have you.
It's my first time on camera, it's going to be interesting.
Is it? It's going to be very interesting. And yeah, welcome to the
Awesome.
camera life, dude. So, Lam, please tell everyone, where were you born? Where did you grow up, and what was your English influence as a child?
I'm Hanoi born and raised. I have been learning English since kindergarten,
Cool.
and I have an uncle who's from Australia.
Oh, cool.
Therefore, growing up with two half Aussie cousins, I did speak a lot of English with them.
Did they live here in Vietnam or in Australia?
In Vietnam, they were born here as well.
Oh, cool,
Yeah.
man. Cool. I thought they were born in Australia. They lived in Australia. I was like, how did you hang out, man?
Well, I know they've got two passports, so.
Oh, lucky them as well.
Lucky them, yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man. So how often did you get to hang out with your cousins?
Back in the day,
Mm.
for years, like every day, pretty much.
Oh, very
Yeah,
cool.
we'd
man.
like come over to each other's houses and like watch Cartoon Networks and Disney.
Sick, man.
Yeah.
Sick. Were there any like specific films you can remember that like really inspired your English learning over the years?
The first one that came to my mind is Lion King.
Oh man, what a beautiful movie.
Yeah. So in the mornings before I went to kindergarten,
Yeah.
I would always put it on, skip it to the part where Scar pushes Mufasa off.
Oh no,
the edge of
it's
the mountain.
such a sad
Then I'd
part,
be
man.
like, oh man, this is a bummer.
Yeah. Shame. Let's show everyone that scene quickly. Shame. It's such a sad scene. Scar pushing Mufasa. This is one of the saddest scenes.
I was
in the
always
movie.
Come on, you can do better. You can reverse it.
Yeah, you can really try. Man, shame. Yes, I cried so much during this scene. Eh?
Same.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the live action remake that they've made recently?
I have not actually watched that.
You must, man. You actually must. What to be honest, what I enjoyed about it was that they didn't change the storyline at all. Really, they almost
Right.
did it frame for frame, the exact kind of same shots and everything, dude. It was
Awesome.
yeah, it was really cool, man.
Should check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So what else inspired you in your childhood to learn another language?
See, I'm quite biased when
Mhm.
it comes to this question. So most would agree. Most would say that they've got some sort of like external, like influence.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas for me, it was so my aunt scored me a free scholarship
Oh, cool.
for kindergarten,
Oh, cool.
and so I was just put there, and then I was just like, okay, let's blend in.
Yeah. Was it an English-speaking kindergarten?
Yes, it was an international.
Oh, very nice. Okay, that changes my whole understanding of your kindergarten learning experience.
Yeah, so like when you're just like put in that environment,
Mm.
like you're just like, okay, cool, like I'll try to like mingle, like there's no. It wasn't like I saw a movie and then I was like, okay, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
No, that's very interesting, man. I honestly, in your kindergarten years is essential for language learning because at that age your brain is it's like a sponge, man. It just
Yeah.
sucks information in. And so if you can learn from 3 to 6 years old is a really essential time to build the foundations of another language.
I found as well that like when you do learn it like at that age, like it's not like like you don't have to get too technical about it, and your brain would still be like, okay, like this is how this is like the correct way to speak the language.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you know how to say something without knowing why you say it like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember there's parts of my Italian that I remember from that age as well, that I've always been able to say, and I've always been able to reply and speak to family and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely something that can solidify in your brain, and you learn how to say it, but you never know why.
Wait, so how did it feel not being able to speak Italian? Being in an environment where you were required to speak it. So, in your case, like family.
Yeah. Sure, that is probably my reason for learning Italian. I particularly remember sitting with family in Italy, and they were all communicating to me in Italian, and I could understand little bits here and there, but in the end, I couldn't actually speak back to them. All I was saying was like, si, no, yes, no, si, no. And then my cousin turned around one time and said, "Is all you can say si or no?" And I looked at him and I understood that question, and I was like, "No." But yeah, that for me was very, very frustrating when I was a kid. Like the Italian I'd learned when I was a kid, I lost a lot of it, and then when I went to Italy, couldn't speak with my family, and that for me was my internal motivator to learn.
I can relate to that. I think with language, like if you don't use it, you start losing it.
100%, man. Yeah, it's not like riding a bicycle.
For sure. And my Vietnamese has kind of like gone downhill.
Really?
I think it started going like that like 3 years back.
Okay. Why 3 years ago?
So that was when I went, okay, wow, let's get yourself out there. Let's meet all these different people. And that was just before I went to Australia.
Okay.
And then Australia was just like, okay, like the tiger has been out of the cage.
Yeah, the tiger's been released. Watch out, world!
Yeah.
Lam Oi is on the way. Oh, cool, man. So would you say your language has definitely like developed since over the last 3 years more than before?
Yes and no. So
Okay.
with English in particular, sure, like I learned like the Aussie like ways to say things.
Yeah.
But also, in my personal opinion, Australia is not a good place for learning English.
Oh man, that's amazing.
I can be biased, but from what I've observed, they don't speak in full sentences.
Yeah.
And they do swear a lot.
Yeah. No, that I think is something that everyone knows as well. Okay, very interesting, man. Have there been any English accents that or English or types of English that you prefer to learn with?
So, trying to blend in with my own culture, where like we're really straightforward. So
yeah,
if we dislike you, would say we'd be like, hey, like
we don't like you.
We don't like you.
It's just straight up. Yeah.
Whereas in English,
yeah,
you're kind of like, okay, I'll play along with your jokes. Like good luck, figuring out whether I hate you or like you.
Yeah.
I find that so for this like in this context, it's more useful to learn American English because it's
Okay.
more like sort of like straightforward.
Okay,
Whereas
yeah.
like British English is kind of
Like dances around the
it
subject.
dances around the subjects. Yeah.
Okay. That's a very interesting take on that. I always did kind of see, as a South African, I always did kind of see that the Americans I have met through traveling and stuff are very straightforward and direct and very open to sharing their opinions, which is great. I mean, as well, it's good and bad with everything. But yeah, so that's interesting concept, eh? Maybe, to be honest, maybe that's why a lot of English speakers have trouble learning Asian languages. Because even Chinese as well is also a very direct language.
Definitely.
Yeah, and that's something as an expat, if you ever want to come teach in China or Vietnam or even Thailand as well, the culture is a very direct culture. And you will walk into the office after like being at the beach all day with a nice tan, like we like to get in Europe.
I've got a pretty sick driving 7 hours to cut down.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll come into the office like a nice tan, and we feel, oh, I had so much sun. And you walk into the office, and the whole staff are like, "Why are you so dark?" Like, no, you mustn't get so much sun. It's not good for you. Or like, you come back from Christmas and eating so much, and you come back. Put on a little bit of weight after Christmas. You walk in the office and they're like, "Why are you so fat?"
if you've adopted a plant-based diet or have gone vegan, then they'd be like, "The fuck, it's crucial for your muscles." Like, You've got to bulk up.
Yeah, so I believe you've gone vegan recently as well. How's that gone over with your family?
So at first it was like, my dad was like, "What? So now you're just gonna mission to the mountain and be a monk?" And then I was like, "That's not actually a bad idea."
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. It sounds quite nice. Going living in the mountains.
We had a few, I wouldn't say fights, but like we had a few like discussions.
Okay, maybe like misunderstandings or...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think they're slowly learning to accept that you're going vegan now?
They have accepted.
Okay, that's great to hear, man. Aware. Awesome. May I ask, what was your original reason for deciding to go vegan?
I saw the Game Changers.
Mm-hmm.
And it explains... for anyone who doesn't know the Game Changers, it's a documentary on Netflix, and like it delves into like the secrets and like the lies perpetuated by the meat industry and how meat is actually bad for you, and there's like an ethics like side to it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my reasons.
Okay, very interesting, man. Yeah, thanks. I've seen it on Netflix. I haven't actually clicked the button to say watch yet. So maybe I should give it a watch as well. Yeah, I've noticed though in Asia, like it's meat is a part of the diet here, very common as well. But
very common, yes.
But what I've noticed though is that the focus of the meal is not meat. So, for example, in the USA or in Canada or even in Europe or even in South Africa, you're focused around having like a big piece of chicken or a big piece of steak or some like pork chops or something with like a little bit of veg on the side or some chips on the side or something. But here in Vietnam and Thailand and in China as well, it's based around
fish sauce.
Well, fish sauce is Vietnam. Vietnam. But it's based around veggies. It's based around noodles and rice with bok choy and spinach and vegetables first with a little bit of meat on the dish. It's not like, bang, you slap, there's a fat piece of steak with like a little bit of broccoli or some spinach or something. It's like, no, it's like, bang, here's some spinach and rice and fish sauce.
It's a little bit more balanced.
It is. It's definitely more balanced, and that's why it's even in Hanoi, Vietnam, I noticed there's a lot of vegan restaurants, and the food is amazing. at these places as well. So
What would be your favorite one?
oof. Oh, there's too many to choose from, man. I think it would be a toss between La Studio on Dang Tai Mai in Teho and Unlock Chai.
I love Anlak Chai.
Unlock Chai is so good, man. Their daily buffet, they have an evening buffet, and then what they can prepare for you there as well.
And the meditative music in the background.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's amazing little spot. So if you guys ever want to go see it, La Studio on Dang Tai Mai Alley 3133 down there.
Isn't it Alley 31 Swansea?
Oh, sorry, Alley 31 Swansea. Is it Swansea or Dang Tai Mai? One of the two. Anyway.
I think it's Swansea.
Yeah. Alley 31 Swansea. You head down that alley and you'll find La Studio. And then at the end of Dang Tai Mai, you go down Dang Tai Mai, the road splits, you keep left, you'll find Unlock Chai there as well. They're really, really good, guys. You have to go check. But yeah, so where besides the inspiration from the Game Changers, were there any other like foreigners that influenced you to become vegan?
Foreigners that influenced me to become vegan.
Excuse me.
My friend Tim did bring the topic
Oh,
up
I know
a
Tim,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah, it was sometimes kind of like out of the blue that it was like brought up, and then I was just like, okay, got a point.
Okay.
And then the Game Changers was like the last straw.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
so this is like a good way to go about things.
Yeah, interesting, man. Very, very interesting. So I have to ask you to try and kill this stigma that's going around, but did going vegan change your personality at all?
Did going vegan change my personality? It's a very interesting question. I don't really have an answer to that.
Okay, well, that's...
Like I won't be going around and saying to people, "Hey, you should go vegan." Like sometimes I'd be like, "Here's some cool things to watch, to consider," but no, like I didn't get aggressive.
Yeah. Okay, that's good, man. That's good, because there's this horrible stigma that people become different people and they become very like in your face when you become vegan. But again, there's a perfect example that your personality doesn't change by what you eat. Your body gets healthy, trust me. But yeah, man. So between speaking English and Vietnamese, do you find yourself shifting between expressions you use or body language you use at all between the two languages?
Most definitely. So in English, there's a lot of emphasis on like the physical body language. So when you greet someone, it's like you're not just going like, "Hey, I'm Lam."
Yeah.
Hey.
Big hug.
Yeah, big hug.
Yeah. Sometimes the funny slap high fives that everyone does.
Whereas in Vietnamese, we just kind of go, "Hey, hey, I'm Lam. Like, nice to meet you."
Yeah. I've noticed the hugging is not a thing here as well. Like when I've tried to give like Vietnamese friends of mine hugs, like I'm like all in, like, "Yeah, give me some love," and there's like, "Hi." The one-handed half hug.
It's not like chest to chest.
Yeah. It's not like the full heart embrace kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean that it's not like they don't mean bad by it. They're just not used to having someone that close to them in a circle, their personal space in a way. I think. Yeah.
So like that's one thing that differs.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is the way you communicate.
Yeah.
In Vietnamese, like I've said before, like we're pretty straightforward, we're pretty blunt. Like I've learned to become more to play around with with jokes and
Okay.
to be, I guess, in a sense, like less direct and more diplomatic. If that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, 100% understand that. Okay. So have you found the two personalities like almost smashing together in a weird way sometimes?
They clash constantly.
I can imagine.
And I do have issues finding the middle ground. So I've got like two personalities, probably three.
Okay,
now that I know a bit of Afrikaans as well.
Oh, learning some South African languages as well. Interesting.
And I do find it hard to make all those personalities form into one cohesive one.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think I don't think anyone says that you have to. Like, I don't think there is a law that says that you cannot have three personalities. Well, maybe in mental disorders of DID, you shouldn't have three personalities. But in terms of language, man, I think it's fine to have like three different ways of expressing yourself.
Yeah, I guess just really just don't go on WebMD because it might make you think there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. If you feel your personality changing from speaking another language, don't go on WebMD because it'll either A, tell you you've got cancer, or B, tell you you've got dissociative identity disorder, which means split personalities. But yeah, no, linguistics, it's quite a new phenomenon actually in psychology where and linguistics where it's not so much your personality changing, but it's more the way you're thinking, and your perspective can change sometimes when you're speaking another language. I mean, I definitely feel it when I'm speaking Italian. I become a lot more loud, and I use my hands a lot more and a lot more expressive. And I'll play on a lot more words as well. And while with English, you're very right. English is a very diplomatic language, and you have to be a bit more careful on what you say and how because you could step on someone's toes.
So, for example, last night I had a little bit of a think, and I do use the word "fair enough" a lot.
Okay, yeah.
Casual conversations. So sometimes, like when my girlfriend goes, "Hey, I'm feeling like doing work tonight. I'm gonna go to sleep late." I'll be like, "Fair enough." And she'd be like, "What the fuck?"
That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Yeah, is there a better way?" So, fair enough for me has always been kind of like the way to say, "Okay, I get you." I know where you're coming from. I feel you.
Yeah.
But I think a better way to phrase it would be something like "I feel you" or like "I understand."
Yeah.
Or if you have a housekeeper, for example, it'd be better to call them that, so housekeeper.
Yeah.
Instead of maid.
Maid is maid, and it's quite archaic. It's quite old in that sense. Yeah. Even I was actually saying, even in South Africa, we were having this conversation the other day that they actually legally changed the name for maid to domestic worker, because maid still symbolized old school apartheid era and slavery and everything. So they said, nope, we don't have maids, we have domestic workers. Which again, to be honest, that change in itself brought about so many rights for these workers that was actually a good systemic change for them as well.
Right on.
So right on, South Africa, you did well there. Lots to work on still, but we're starting somewhere at least. Yeah, man. So I would say out of all the English speakers you've met over the years, who are your favorites, honestly?
That's a very hard question to answer.
Putting me on the spot there.
Putting me on the spot, for sure. When I was in my schooling years, so
Mhm.
okay, so we're talking about like my friends and everyone who speaks English that I know.
Yeah.
So that includes my teachers as well,
Mhm.
my friends, relatives.
Mhm.
Um, I don't have a favorite
Or,
actually.
is there a favorite? Is there? Sorry, let me rephrase that. Not the type of person. Sorry, that's
I
horrible. That's a horrible question. Is there a favorite accent that you prefer listening to or learning from?
I would say it's American,
Okay.
but um, I have over time got used to Australian and now South African
Mm.
accents.
Yeah, there's a lot of South Africans here in Vietnam, man.
You guys are also very straightforward.
Yeah. We can be. We can be.
Sometimes a little bit cheeky, but
I think very cheeky. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely can be quite straightforward. We do have majority of English-speaking South Africans do have like a twang of British in our enunciation and in the way we form our vowels. Um, but yeah, it definitely is a unique accent in its own way. Yeah. Um, Also, a lot of slang in South Africa. So I think also South Africa is not maybe a good place to learn English. There's a lot of slang there. I mean, I remember my cousins came from Italy to learn English for 2 weeks or so, just to be exposed to a bit more English for 2 weeks. And I took them on a trip around South Africa. And it was amazing, man. We had a great time. I got to show them the wildlife and meet people.
awesome.
But at the end of the trip, all they learned to say was like, "Yo, what kind, brah?" And "Shot, bro," and all the slang.
What was the first one?
Yo, what kind, brah?
What kind?
What kind is very much from Durban, from my hometown. So that's how I greet my friends from Durban.
And that's
Yo,
a
what
way
kind?
of saying
It's like saying "How's it?" "Hello." Yeah, "What's up?" It's the same as "What's
what
up?"
kind.
Yeah, what
That's
kind?
very strange.
Yeah, it originated from the Indian community that's living in KwaZulu Natal and Durban, my hometown. And yeah, my hometown has the highest density concentration of Indian population outside of India. Yeah, so if India were to fall off the world, my hometown would be the next India, which is amazing. Which is why I love curry so much, and all the food is so good.
Who
man.
can't?
Oh,
Let's be
it's
honest, who
so
can't?
good. I even had so much curry.
What's your
last
favorite
night.
Indian restaurant in Hanoi?
Ooh, that's a tricky one, man. I really
Put him on the
enjoy. Yeah, I really enjoy. It's not an Indian restaurant; it's a Pakistani restaurant called Handi. They make fabulous curries there and fabulous karahi. Also, a lot of veggies as well. A lot of veggie food there. Um, but what's another good one? There's a place I've heard that makes bunny chow, but I'm still trying to find it. I can't
We
remember
happen to
where.
be Food Shop 45.
No, food shop don't make a bunny chow. When I mean bunny chow, this is typical from my hometown. Loaf of bread, cut in half. They take the bread out the middle, so it's like a bread bowl. They just dump curry in the middle, and they put the bread that
That
they've taken
sounds
out. They put on top, and
delicious.
you just slowly eat away this loaf of bread and curry, and
Yum.
your face is like covered in curry at the end of it, and you don't care because you just want to lick it off. Like it's so good, man. Yeah, man. What's your favorite? What's your favorite Vietnamese restaurant? Yeah.
It's my favorite Vietnamese restaurant.
Mm.
Spicy pho.
Oh yeah, spicy pho, very nice. Hey. Ooh, favorite food there?
Now that I've gone vegan,
Mm.
it's the pho sao chai.
Oh yeah, that is actually very nice, man.
Like the pak choi's absolutely delicious.
Mm.
It's
Yeah,
it's
man.
got it's got a lot of oil in it for sure.
Mhm.
But I think that's like the beauty of spicy pho.
Yeah, I think
Then you
so.
put like a little bit of the vinegar with
Fish sauce?
no
Gotta check.
with garlic and chili.
Yeah.
You know, so like they've got like a little like jar of like vinegar with that stuff like at like pho restaurants.
Yes.
Just like put like a little bit of that
A little bit
over
of
like
that.
a little bit of like the pho
You're making me hungry now.
the pho chili sauce.
Mm.
And it's
Phenomenal.
amazing.
Eh?
It's
Oh,
phenomenal.
yeah, that sounds really good. Oh, maybe we do that for dinner tonight.
I'm down.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So right before we end off, I'd like to ask you: is there any tips and tricks that you learned while learning English as your second language? Anything that like helped you learn the language faster?
So there's like you have to have kind of like a system in place.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, like learn all the basic grammar and so like the tenses and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
To like get your foundation.
Get your foundation.
Yeah.
Yes. And then once you've got that foundation,
Mm.
so I'll use a really simple analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you think you have a stomach ache,
Mm-hmm.
or stomach pain, would you go on WebMD or would you go to the doctor?
Oh, I'd go to the doctor.
You'd go to the doctor, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so treat it like this. So WebMD is gonna be your like foundation. So
Okay.
it's like this system, although it needs a little bit of an update.
Yeah, definitely.
But try to see my point. Like so, there's a system, but to practice the language,
Mhm.
and your goal at the end of the day is to use English.
Yeah.
Like get outside, like
So you'd say like immerse yourself.
immerse yourself
Okay.
and meet different people and practice the language.
Yeah.
In like very casual like settings.
So like don't put pressure on yourself.
Yeah, and then like you like next thing you know, like it's just embedded in your brain. So you can go out and make new friends, or you can date someone who speaks English.
Oh.
That's actually one of the reasons that I learned English.
Yeah. Very cool, man. All right, cool, man. So is there anything you would like to leave our audience with today?
So guys, so to sum up this like the convo that we're having now, get yourself out there, like meet new people, practice and speak the language. Don't get too deep into it, otherwise your mother tongue might deteriorate.
Oh, that's brilliant, actually. That's brilliant. So yeah, learn as much as you can, but still always speak to your parents.
Don't be like us.
Yeah.
Don't be like us.
No, I still speak to my parents. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm joking, man. All right, guys and girls, thank you very, very much for joining us today. Lam Oi, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
It was
It's
awesome
Luigi.
to have you on the show, and hopefully we'll see more
a
of you
pleasure.
soon. Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely. Man.
Yes.
Guys and girls, thank you very much. Before we leave, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and you can get free content every week. Guys and girls, thank you very much. I will see you next week. Have a great day and goodbye.